our presentation proposal for Fort Lauderdale train station. We are Engenious Design, and our mission is to surpass expectations by developing innovative and timeless designs with sustainability and safety as a priority. My name is Joe Simone. I am the project manager. Ches Palacios is my assistant manager as well as project consultant. And Oscar Florence and Polina Sita are project consultants. What makes us different? Engenious Designs. We have experience with building departments and the permitting process. We have project management skills in real-time construction projects. We have design and drafting skills. And we have unique ideas and really trying to bring out our creativity as a group and presenting it here to you guys for the Fort Lauderdale train station. Today we're going to talk about our scope, our alternative analysis, our site description, our ESA findings, the site constraints, our existing site conditions, as well as our preliminary site plan, lead points, and if you have any questions at the end. The FEC study runs from Palm Beach County down to Miami-Dade. This plan is to change the current FEC railway system, which is currently for freight and for just basically the industrial services, and bring the passenger back into it, so bring the people back to the train or back to this railroad. And our site specifically is in Fort Lauderdale, right next to the New River. Our objective is to, first and foremost, create a LEED Gold certification for the building, and keeping in mind the future ridership expectations of the city of Fort Lauderdale. And we're going to integrate into the surrounding community, and as I said, design for our anticipated ridership. This is a picture of the city of Fort Lauderdale, and the expected growth. It's already bustling, so the expected growth is expected to grow. All right, so we're going to be going by LEED certification, which is Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design. And we would like to have a gold rating, which is anywhere from 60 to 79 points, and potentially even reaching platinum. And this is just a breakdown of the LEED requirement. Fort Lauderdale has 180,000 people currently, and it's a popular tourist destination, as well as we expect it to be the destination for most of our riders. Now, Ches will talk about the site alternatives.
Before selecting a site, we analyzed 3 different possible locations for the Fort Lauderdale station. As shown on the map, they were the Broward Central Terminal, the Governmental Parking Garage, and the Florence C. Hardy Park and Southside Cultural Center. Before analyzing the sites and selecting from those 3, we ran them through a matrix of criteria as shown in the table and their weights. Community safety was measured subjectively by actually visiting the site and walking around the community and the location and determining how safe we felt on each site. Obviously, the safer we felt, the better the option was in that criteria. We also looked at its centrality to the city center. We would like to be able to service the most populated area, which would be the Riverwalk in downtown Fort Lauderdale area. Excuse me. The closer it is to that area, such as the downtown nightlife, the governmental center and the FAU campus, was preferable. The cost of the property, which was determined based off the Broward County appraisal, how close their available parking was to the site, and its accessibility from major roads, because obviously we would like it to be accessible to I-95 and other roads that follow major bus routes in Broward County. So the first site analyzed was the Broward Central Terminal. From the Broward County appraisal, it is determined that it is valued at $13.9 million. Some positives about the site is the potential for a transportation hub. So that way it could be connected straight from bus routes to the train station very easily accessible for people transferring and going further distances. It is also very easily accessible from a major road, Broward Boulevard, which is connected all the way down to I-95 and runs alongside downtown Fort Lauderdale. Its major negatives were a high homeless population, which we saw on the majority on the north side of Broward Boulevard, and also in the empty lots around the building. And it is also across the street. Unfortunately, the Broward Boulevard presents a negative at that point to getting to the Government Center and Riverwalk in the downtown area. The government parking garage is valued at $31.2 million. Some positives about it is that it is very close to the city center. Don't have to cross any major streets to get around. There's a security presence during peak hours, as well, including the weekends at night when the nightlife is there. There's a very strong security presence that time as well. And the parking in the actual garage is not fully utilized. For those people who do, even though we're a destination station, those people who do want to access it and ride from that station somewhere else. This major negative is that currently it is only accessible from Southwest 2nd Street into the Engenious Road down here. It's actually 2 lanes either way. The Southside Cultural Center is valued at $10 million. The positives about that site are it's a safe community. There's additional parking available on site, and obviously it's the cheapest of the 3. Its biggest negative is that it is the furthest south, the furthest distance, and it's south of the New River from the downtown area. Here you can see the actual matrix and the distribution of the points for each site and each of the following criteria. Unweighted, it comes out that the parking garage is the best option through that matrix. We then applied weights based on how important each criteria was to us. You can see them over there in the second column. The community safety is obviously the highest because you want people to be able to feel safe around there. The centrality to the city center is also very important because that's what most of the people are going to be using the station for. And then the other ones were not as important, so they got weighed less. After applying the weights to the distribution scores, we found, again, the parking garage was the best alternative in this matrix. A final analysis was performed in the form of a sensitivity analysis. In that one, we took out community safety, primarily because it is a subjective criteria, and also it happens to be the most weighed and has the most effect on the results. After running through that again, the parking garage turned out to be the best option. For the results of the 3 matrices, we chose the governmental parking garage. So the address is at 151 Southwest 2nd Street. It currently has 6 stories with rooftop parking and 1,200 spaces. I'll tell you a little bit around the area. The site, as I mentioned, is used heavily for the government employees, and it also allows public parking. On weekends, it is heavily used by the nightlife due to the nightclubs and retail on the west side. On the west and south, there's the nightclubs, retail, restaurants, and there's also the movie theater just south of us. On the southeast are restaurants on the first level, professional associations, and a private parking garage located. On the east is another governmental parking garage, and which are reserved spots currently, and the Broward Government Center. To the north, we have the Broward Central Terminal, and this one, actually being in such close proximity to it, qualifies us for the lead credit in alternative transportation. And to the northwest, we have the Gore building, which is a judicial building. Now I pass it on to Oscar to discuss the results of our Phase 1 environmental site assessment.
Thank you very much, Jess. So we at AIM Designs conducted a Phase 1 environmental site assessment to deem the land safe. The whole purpose of the environmental site assessment was to identify and recognize environmental conditions in connection with the site. And recognize environmental conditions are also known as RECs. A REC is the likely presence or the presence of hazardous waste or petroleum product in connection with the site. During our site visit, we walked through each of the floors and searched through it to see if we could find any drums, strong smells, or any stress vegetation. We also conducted several interviews with both the building manager, Katrina Jackson, and as well as the Broward County print shop reporter. They were very helpful to us. In the last part of the ESA, we conducted the records review portion where we searched through several state and federal environmental records, as well as the